right at the beginning.
Call this number back. I need $25 for this walk around sit down chair.
Production. Been around the block. Been around the block.
I just got the
Good evening. Welcome to episode 33 of Been Around the Block featuring April Jones. How's everybody doing this week?
Blessed.
doing
Yes.
good.
Good.
Very
Well,
glad.
we're really glad to have you on here. It is so hard to believe that we've had 33 episodes of this, man, and feel like we're still going strong. We'll see in the comments or on our banners coming up. We've been able to reach 5.6K people in the last 28 days, which is pretty amazing. I'm still looking for the 90-day metric, but I imagine we're probably on pace with being around 60,000 people. So we've done really good. So I want to thank all the viewers for that, and thank everybody who listens on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. So other than that, man, April, how's it going tonight?
It's going good. Just been hanging out at home.
All right. Well, we've been in the room for 45 minutes. Sorry for making you come in here early, but we got all the questions.
Yeah, she actually just told her testimony. She's about to do it all over again.
Yeah, it's fun. She's warmed up though now.
Hey, it's episode 33. My favorite number is 3. This is going to be awesome. I think today's going to be a good one, y'all.
It is. Well, and I think of 33 as Rolling Rock. You know, the back of the bottles always had the 33. You guys, anybody remember that from Rolling Rock beer?
No, I drank Rolling Rock Brooks.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Bro, you look like you drank Rolling Rock.
Those and Mickey Big Mouths, you know. I mean, anything in a green bottle. So.
Yeah, like Heineken, Rolling Rock, anything.
Chris, did you drink? I bet you drank 40-ounce malt liquors, huh?
I did.
Oh,
I really did.
OEs. I used to love OEs and hacky sacking listening to ICP, bro. It was.
I went from drinking like OEs to drinking like PBR, and then went from PBR, and I started drinking like Lone Star, and I just drank tequila.
I'm gonna say, bro, you are the whitest black dude I know.
I
know you wasn't
definitely
drinking
one of them.
OE.
Yeah, definitely close. So if I could grow a beard, I'd been the IPA guy, but yeah, it is.
Nemo, I was gonna ask you to put me a beard on. I need a beard.
You want me to paint you a beard on?
Yeah, I want a beard on my face, bro.
I got a tattoo guy, man. We
I
can
got
just
you,
get that
bro.
permanently.
We can put some enhancements on you, bro. I got you.
You need a donor for the hair?
No.
No.
Oh,
I
God.
got you, bro. I mean,
What's up, Larry Clark? What's up, Lisa? Love you. Sorry
No, I
about
got
your
you, bro.
sorry about your truck. I heard. Did you see her video? Yeah, her. I guess the homeless people that were she helps.
oh
out
my
with
God,
staying
the semi
behind-
truck trailer.
Yeah, staying behind her store and
Jeez,
burnt. They were trying to stay warm and it burnt up.
Oh, my gosh.
that's so horrible.
Man, prayers to everybody out there that's having to sleep out in this cold, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, we got somebody else commenting. Amanda Brown, love you, April Jones.
Oh, I love you, Amanda.
And shout out to Amanda, man. She's watches us almost every week, so thank you. She's been one of our guests. So mad love for Amanda.
She's the
So-
best.
So let's just jump into it. We kind of asked you, Nemo asked you, I asked you, drug of choice. I mean, let's just kind of get into it.
All right, meth, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for 20 plus years. Love the meth. Yeah, back when it was real meth, you know?
Back when it was crank.
Yep, crank. That's
Is
right.
that what you called it, crank?
Gangsters. Yep, you better know it.
It just sounds so weird now saying that.
Yeah,
Go give me a bag of crank.
Man, I'm savvy. I worked on a ranch, and I worked on a ranch where you could get the. Never mind. Anyways, so I'm savvy. I'm familiar with.
You
the
got
work.
to incriminate yourself, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna just stop right there. It was a long time ago, but yeah, I'm savvy. So
Okay.
let's get into it. You said crank, meth, ice. I'm sure whatever. So you said you used for about 20 years. You don't have to answer this, or you can. I personally was an IV meth user.
I was too at 15, first
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Yep. I spent most of my addiction trying not to be an IV user. So it was like,
Oh, you gotta start from the beginning. I want to hear this. Let's hear it.
okay, so I'll start from the beginning. So, I grew up in a really good family. Okay, like it was me and my mom. I had my stepdad. I was very very loved. You know, my parents got divorced when I was 13, and I was also started going through puberty at that time, and I was going through like this major identity crisis because I didn't know my biological father. Okay, so that just like tormented me. Um, I just really wanted to. I don't know. I just felt like an imposter everywhere that I went. I was in dance, I was in all these activities, but I just never really felt like I fit in, you know? I started kind of just like drinking and smoking weed like in my 8th grade year. I actually got kicked out like my 8th grade year, the last 3 weeks of school. And I went to a really small school. I shouldn't have even passed, but they're like, get rid of this girl, just like sent me on my way. I met a girl, and that's when I went super goth, you know what I mean? Started smoking weed, dating guys, going a little too far with that. And
Where was you growing up? I got
in Shawnee.
okay. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I went to a really small school. I went to shout out to Grove Elementary. Yeah.
Never even heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. So my freshman year, it was wild, you know, like I already had like this reputation. Honestly, let's go back a little further. Like even before I had ever really done drugs, like people were like, you know, just assumed that I had. Even my teachers, like they always just kind of put this label on me. So I was like, I need to live up to this label, you know. By the time I got to high school, I remember the first time I ever did meth. Okay, I was with a group of kids, and we got like a quarter paper or something, you know. And they're like, "Oh, give it to April; she knows what to do." And really, I had no idea what to do, but I just like stepped up and acted like I had done it a million times. And I remember I got so sick, but I was just like instantly hooked, you know, because here these people were like looking up to me, they liked me, like it just felt right, you know. So I remember going home that night. Well, actually, we won't go into that, but it just kind of progressed, and so really rapidly, obviously for me. I started dating older guys. You know, we would party. My mom really never knew where I was at because I would just stay gone. I remember her like showing up one time at this trailer park I was in doing meth, you know, trying to find me because she had no idea where I was. And first time I ever used a needle, though, like I said, I started about 14. So by 15, close to 16, the guy that I was dating, like that's how he did it. And I would watch him get high. And I wanted to feel like that. It was obvious that he was going to a totally different level than I was on, you know? And so I did it, you know, and I like to refer to myself as a baby vampire because that's what it became. You know, I just wanted to see that initial bread, you know, and and my life revolved around it. I mean, I functioned in school. I mean, I say that my teachers just showed me a lot of grace for whatever reason. They just kind of passed me on, I suppose. But I did well, you know. Let's see.
So I have a question. You did dope back in the day, and yeah, I called it dope back then. So the way I looked at it back then was it took the blinders off, and I would stare into the trees for hours. This was off in Bixby, Oklahoma, and I would fight with shadow people and feds and all this other shit.
Mm-hmm.
That was just my experience, and once I experienced that, I loved it. Though it was
Yeah. Absolutely. I've had the best hallucinations off meth,
Yeah.
and that's the truth. I mean, I was into psychedelics. I was into everything. Don't get it twisted. But like I said, it was that first time I did that shot of meth. It was like I was home,
Yeah.
I was gone, and I loved it. And it was the old school stuff, and you actually stayed up for a long time. I stayed up almost 2 weeks one time. I remember sitting on the roof, looking out into space and just like tripping so hard. I mean, it was a wild ride, that's for sure. And
You don't have to tell your age. I'm just curious. What year was this?
okay, so I'm 41. Okay, so we're talking like the late 90s.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
That's what I was doing at 99 specifically through 2001 and then that pretty much that stuff started going away.
Yeah, that's right. The evolution of meth, So I ended up getting pregnant though. When I was 17, I got pregnant, and at first I was like, there's no way I'm having this child. Like I'm a junkie, I have no business bringing a child in the world. And I went and told my mom, and I don't know, she was freaked out. And I guess just because she, obviously she was freaked out, but just because she had concerns, I'm just like a rebel, whatever my mom doesn't want me to do, I'm going to do. So of course I had the baby, I stayed sober through that pregnancy, and, which was a miracle. I was really, I don't know. It's the only time I've ever really been able to stay sober is when I was pregnant. But I had my daughter, Adria, and, I wasn't done. I was 17 when I had her, and I really wanted to know my biological dad. So like all of this journey, like this whole time I'm thinking, if I just knew my dad, like, then I'd know myself and everything will be perfect. He'll love me, and I'll be able to, live a normal, happy life. And it just wasn't the case, like I remember one time, I would do meth, and then I would like quit. So I would drink, and I'd be like blackout drunk for 6 months until I'd finally, do meth again. And then it was just back and forth. And one time I got really drunk, and I decided I was going to drive to Colorado and surprise my biological father, and I packed up, I put everything in my car, and I drive out there, and I'm like, I'm going to find him, and we're going to live together forever. Everything's going to be perfect. And I get out there, and I stay like 1 week with him. He's like, you got to go, like, I don't want you here. And I end up, that's the first time I saw ice, like, so out in Colorado, it was a whole different ball game, and I accidentally got mixed up with like the cartel. I didn't even know what the cartel was. I end up with these people, and I'd been drinking, I remember I take the first hit of ice I ever take, and I'm like instantly sober, instantly hungover. I'm throwing up. I'm so sick and wet, and I'm hooked. I'm in love, I mean, it was just wild. So my family, I'm like missing because they don't know, like they know I'm not with my dad, but I'd never come back. And they like put out an APB on me or whatever. And so like I'm with this cartel, and I had been with them for like a month, and I keep thinking like I'm being followed. Like I'm like telling them like the cops are watching me. They're following me. I'm dodging cops. I'm like sideways on the side of houses and stuff, trying to get away from them. And it turns out I really was being followed by the cops. They really were trying to find me, but not because of the cartel. Anyway, they end up giving me the boot because I'm just so high and so psychotic, paranoid. And I make my way back to Oklahoma, but I kind of went off on a rant there.
Yeah.
Going with that, but that was a pretty wild experience. And of course, I just kept getting high, and I did it for, I was 14 the first time I did meth. I was 37 when I got sober, and even though I had wanted to get sober for so many years, I just could not figure out how to do it. I'm really fortunate that I got put in the drug court program, you know what I mean? And it changed my life. Like I never thought I would say those words, but I'm so grateful for that program. Shout out to Judge Canavan, who denied me into that program. Like it was a miracle that I got into it because I had trafficking charges, and they don't allow traffickers into drug court. So it was by the grace of God. It was truly a miracle.
What did they do? Did they have to amend your charges?
So they were only able to amend one of my charges. I still had one trafficking charge, and that's why it was like when I graduated, he would got up and made a speech about how I paved the way for other, drug traffickers in the future, because they don't do it. I was the first one. So yeah.
Was this court out of Shawnee?
Yes.
Okay, because I was gonna say if Oklahoma City, it was Stoner, I believe, is the judge.
Yeah. No, this was in Shawnee.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know you don't want to spend so much time on what it was like, but so you said that 37, correct?
Yeah.
So from 15 to 30, 22 years, you had no breaks in between that time? No.
So I did have a short break. I had like a 4-year break in there. Yeah.
Okay.
So I ended up having at 25, I got pregnant again, and I got sober, and I kind of made being a mom like my higher power. I just put all of my energy into that, and that worked for a while, but I wasn't working a program. And so, it starts with like a little drink, at a party, and then, to go into the bar, and then it's like just buying a pint, and then it's blacking out drunk again and hitting a pipe, and then bam, gone. So for another 8 years, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah. But thankfully I was, introduced to a really great outpatient program, and got involved with the 12 steps, and it changed my life,
So did you go ahead, Bima.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Seriously.
I lost my train of thought already.
Okay. So we talked about this. You did go to treatment, right, at one point?
Yes, I did.
So, and you said, so the IOP program, though, you were in jail, right? Isn't that what you said, or what?
No. Okay. So I got released into drug court program, and I had to go through a really intensive IOP for drug court. And that's what, I had been to treatment. So like the first treatment I ever went to, I think I was like 20 years old. And I went to NADTC. I don't know if you guys have ever been there or heard of it, but it was like right next to Griffin. So like, I just like there, they pretty much just medicate you. Like I was so overly medicated, but I ended up like meeting some guy and running off, and what a nightmare that was. Like, oh, we won't even go there. But he really should follow suggestions and not hook up in treatment, okay? Because it's probably going to turn into a nightmare, and it was for me for sure. I did later on go to a treatment. I went to 12 and 12. And
Sure.
And that was
there.
I think we got 3 alumnus here.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I really like that program. I was on the 3rd floor, so I know it's like a little bit different.
You was on the bougie floor.
I was on the bougie floor. Yeah. And so they kind of kicked me out of there too. They actually like let me get my certificate early, because it's the first time I'd ever seen Suboxone or like people on Suboxone. And I was kind of outraged by it. It kind of broke my heart, and I kind of caused a scene. So they let me leave a little early. But there I did learn a lot of really great things. I learned about meditation and started working the steps. And it was a great benefit to me. And I'd say when I left there, I stayed sober for a few months, but I don't even really count it because it was so brief,
What year were you at 12 and 12?
Yeah, I was going to ask that too.
Oh gosh. Okay. So I think it was 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was there in 2017. I started out on the 3rd floor because I had insurance, and then my insurance ran out and they kicked me down to Stateside. And I ended up finishing, but I wasn't ready. I was having my girlfriend at the time sneaking me in pills every weekend, and I wasn't ready. But what I was going to ask you was, so the treatment center that you work for now, is that co-ed?
It is co-ed, yes.
So do you kind of share your experience with
I
falling
try,
in
man.
love?
I definitely try because it's co-ed and it's 90 days, so they have a lot of time to get to know each other. And yeah,
Does it happen a lot?
yeah, it happens a lot.
Oh
Yes,
man.
yes, it happens a lot, and it's just like, oh, it's kind of heartbreaking, especially because of my experience. Like, I met this guy, and I mean, of course, I was in love with him.
Oh, of course.
End up leaving like 2 days before I'm supposed to get my certificate, and moving to some small town. And I mean, it turned into a really drunken, abusive situation. I got drugged and tricked off and all kinds of stuff by this guy. And yeah, it was really heartbreaking, really. And so I try to warn them, but they don't listen.
Someone just said I met my ex in rehab. Shout out to Susie.
Yeah, that's right.
There's
That's
a very small percentage of people that does work.
Hey, that's what I was gonna. So, what
Yeah.
percent do you think, Brooks?
Dude, honestly, just from what I've seen, maybe 5%.
Ooh, that's high, bro.
That's
I don't
high.
think
That's
that-
higher than I was
I-
thinking.
I would
I don't
say,
think it's that high, dog.
I mean, it's maybe a little bit liberal on the statement. But, so, but like I do know some people that met in rehab right now that have successfully done it, and everybody else it turns into a shitstorm dumpster fire. So
Yeah, I think we all know the same one people that met in rehab.
yeah,
So that makes it pretty low probability.
yeah. Well, I met the love of my life in rehab. I mean, I think we all. Well, I don't know. You see, yeah, you had girls bringing you pills and stuff. Yeah, it's. I don't know. My experience tells me that it's just not good. So.
At 12 and 12, I was sneaking off the third floor to go hang out with like everybody else.
The bad boys.
Oh yeah, smoking cigarettes. Oh yeah, good times. I definitely fell in love there as well, but
Yeah, me too.
I didn't leave with him though.
Beverly Hills going to hang out with South Central. That's how it was, man. The insurance, I remember how nice the insurance floor was and how great I got treated. And then, like, I think I was 8 days into my opiate withdrawal and detox, and they kicked me down to the stateside. And I was, man.
It's over with then.
See,
Yeah.
when I went in 2014, it wasn't, I guess, segregated. Let's just call it what it is. Like it was. I guess they started doing that in 2016 because everybody was together. 'Cause I didn't have insurance where I went, and I got the same treatment that everybody else did. And then I got like on a grant to stay in their what was it, SLP program upstairs, which was like third floor or whatever. But after that, it was just like sober living. I had to keep paying. So
Do you remember that floor that Elvis supposedly stayed on?
mhm.
Everybody talks about that at 12.
Yeah.
At 12 and 12?
Yeah.
Dang,
So that
I didn't know that.
It used to be a hotel, and that hotel is famous for Elvis.
Staying there. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's you know how us Okies are, bro. We get one
Oh,
famous
yeah.
person, we make it. They stay at the hotel one time. We building a statue out front.
Hey, real quick, I want to say hi to McKaylee. Hi, McKaylee.
Hey,
Hi,
what's up,
baby.
McKaylee?
So, yeah, that's 100% true. I'm surprised they don't have a monument in front of that, right by the old Scottish Mason Wright building that was there.
All right, we're getting off track. So
A little bit.
you get to drug court, you get accepted into drug court, and at this time, do you feel like you're truly surrendered, or do you feel like you're forced into that situation?
Okay, so no, this was like such a miracle for me. So I had been denied into drug court like 3 different times on these cases. Okay, like Judge Canavan laughed in my face every time. He's like, "I will not accept you into this program. Like, this is a joke." And I had like 3 paid attorneys. I went through attorney, and I end up signing for 10 years. Okay, and this is April of 2020. Like the date I was supposed to turn myself in April 15th. And they shut down the world on April 1st.
Yep.
So they just kept postponing and kept postponing. April 1st, like I had like accepted my fate. Like I was like, okay, I'm going to prison. But the day they postponed that on the 15th, I don't know, something in my heart changed. And I was like, I'm not going to prison. And anyway, I end up kind of going on the run. They finally are ready for me like in July or August. And I'm like, no, not happening. They catch up to me in November 5th. And I end up getting a court-appointed attorney. I had a bond. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like, this is crazy. I've signed for time, you know, and I get this great attorney who's passed away now, but God love him. And he was like, hey, if you just, you know, if you just be patient, I think I can get you into drug court. I guess he just knew the right people, you know, and Judge Canavan laughed again, you know, but somehow or another, I end up getting into this program. But before that, like I really wanted to get sober, you guys. Like I had a spiritual experience in my addiction, like at like 33. Okay, I had this super like spiritual awakening, and I really wanted to be close to God. I wanted to know him so badly. I finally knew that I had been created, you know, there was someone who created me and that he loved me. And even though I was still getting high, I still was able to accept that finally, you know, that love that I had been searching for my whole life from my biological father, from all these abusive men, all these people. Like I finally found it in God, you know, who I call God. And so when I got to jail that day and I had a bond, I don't know, I just had like this hope within me, you know, and I was like, okay, this is it. Like, I'm going to give this my all. And if I get into this program, it'll be a miracle. And it was just like, God worked so many miracles in my life in that time. Like even the day that they caught up to me, I was holding hella weight, you know, and like the same cops that had arrested me for trafficking before, who had tased me. I mean, these cops knew me, you know, somehow or another, they missed it. They didn't find it, you know, and I just knew in that moment that God was working a miracle in my life. That would have been a third trafficking charge. I would have been beat, you know. I was the happiest person to go into jail you've ever seen in your life. You know what I mean? They had found one Xanax, and he was like, I found one Xanax. I'm not going to charge you with it. I was like, what? One Xanax? You know, I'm not even going to tell you how much I had on me, you know? So that was like one miracle, but just that whole process was amazing. And God showed up. I mean, he met me right where I was at, and I surrendered right there in that jail cell. No matter if I ended up going to prison or if I did get in drug court, my prayer was like, God, just please give purpose to this time. Whatever it is, God, please use me and give purpose to this, you know? And and he did, you know? And so I was super excited going to drug court. Like I wanted to prove them all wrong because Judge Canavan had no faith in me. You know, he thought I was going to do what I'd done every other time before, you know? And so this was an opportunity. I like a challenge, you know, please tell me I can't, because I'm going to. And I don't know, but you know, not only did God give purpose to the time now, but he gave so much purpose to my past being in recovery. You know, it's just really special that all those horrible things, all the things that I did, all the things that happened, you know, I can use those things to help the next person. And I'm just so grateful for that, you know, especially getting to work in recovery as well. I mean, every day is such a gift, and I'm just super blessed. So blessed, man.
I love what you said. So that's actually in our text in a certain recovery program we're in. You know, it talks about, you know, God using our darkest moments, or cling to the fact that our darkest moments are our greatest treasures, or something. I'm paraphrasing right now, but I love, that's probably my favorite one in that whole book.
Yeah.
Because when I read that, I cling to that, you know, because my past had been so dark, and it just gave me hope, knowing, can God really use that? You know, I was kind of skeptical, but I was like, you mean God can really use all that bad shit I did for good?
Yeah.
And because I cling to that fact, he's been proving it, you know?
Yeah.
And I like what you said. You started seeing God in all the little things. You know, your eyes were really open to him. And I think sometimes that's what it takes. Is like, we never know that God is all we need until he's all we got. You're sitting in that cell. That's where I found him too. And that's where a lot of hopeless people find him, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's beautiful.
Dude, that whole thing just gave me goosebumps. I mean, me and my brother had a conversation about that recently. He's like, I don't see how you can still be cheery and trying to help people and all this other stuff. I'm like, man, that's just kind of part of the deal. I'm uniquely qualified to be able to help people see that there is hope after getting sober. You know, that's one of the biggest fears I had, like being in rehab and seeing these guys bring these meetings in, was the fact that I thought my life was over once I quit using drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. That life was over. That
it's gonna be so boring.
Yeah, you can be living in a glum existence and all this other shit. But the truth is, to find out these people used and drank and all this other shit like I did and are enjoying being sober, man. Like I said, it just gives hope to the next person. That's the whole point of this thing. So.
For sure.
Yeah, that's like the biggest thing. One of the biggest things I always tell people, I'm like, hey, look, if I can do it, anybody can. I always tell people that.
Yeah.
And I really believe that.
Yeah. I don't even have to tell people that. People from my past that know me, they're like, if she can do it, I can do it. And I love that.
Oh, here we are. Shout out to William. He just it says, cling to the fact that our dark past is the greatest asset we have. With it, we can avert death and misery for others.
Very nice.
Oh, hey, I was close, William.
Yeah, you were.
Hey, I'm going to give a shout out real quick to Ty Smith. Hello, grateful recovering meth addict from Enid. What's up, Ty? Caden, say hi to Heather Russell.
Heather.
Give you the big heart
My
eye.
girl.
Yeah, you're popular, April. You got a lot of people in.
All
cheering you on
right.
tonight.
So that's really cool to see everybody interacting in the comments too. I don't know if you can see that off the side, April, but a lot of people that we all know mutually.
I don't see it. I don't know why. Let's see if I can fix that. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, if you just want to scroll, you can kind of see like chat's popping off. So that's really good, and that's what we want. It's really awesome to.
I want to before we move on, I want to put one up there too that really was near and dear to my heart. Hold on. Here we go. Bam. Drayvon says it's Badissi on the sweater. Oh, not that one. No. Nemo, you. So to kind of put into perspective what Drayvon's talking about.
Oh, we know what he's talking about.
He's talking about the skits we do, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for the love, man. We ain't gonna stop making them.
Said that one. Nobody wanted your fucky ass studio, anyways. Yeah, he said that.
And we ain't gonna stop, man. We're gonna make some more pretty soon, really soon.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, hi, Alvin. AJ.
So, what else we got? Evelyn, Ty. Yeah, we already shouted him out. So, let's talk about. We kind of already talked about what happened. So, where are you at now? What's life look like now? I mean, we discussed you work at Country Road Operations.
Yes, I do.
And so, like, what do you do now? What's your sobriety about? I mean, you obviously try and help other people. I mean, but what's that look like for April now?
Okay, so sobriety has been amazing. We'll just go to the beginning of sobriety for me. I went from being in the streets and doing all the things, to getting accepted into drug court, and then for whatever reason, my family gave me this amazing opportunity to be a part of them again. And I started taking care of my grandmother. I actually moved in with my grandma and I became her sole caretaker. It was such a drastic change. And, but it was pretty amazing. I spent enough time in jail that my mind kind of got to reset. So by the time that I got there, it was a really easy transformation for me. God kind of prepares us for the role, I guess, that we're going into. And I really got to spend a lot of time just being a dependable part of my family, getting to, have a relationship with my children, 1 year into sobriety, my daughter passed away, and I stayed sober through that, God had prepared me for that. And just knowing him, it just gives me so much peace through every situation, just knowing that he has these perfect plans. And I made it through that, you know. I ended up getting married to like the man of my dreams. So like,
You didn't meet him in rehab?
no,
Oh,
no, I didn't.
would've been
So I
perfect.
actually like met him in addiction, you know, and it was kind of like a chemical thing, we'll say. But it just kind of progressed, you know. I don't know. So before I was going to prison, we kind of reunited, and I had put these walls up like, I'm going to prison, I don't want a relationship, but we did kind of fall in love at that point, you know. So when I ended up on this free, a civilian, we ended up getting together, you know, and he kind of followed like my lead. I was meth, he was alcohol. So he was taking me to all of my meetings for drug court, and he just kind of caught on, you know, and ended up getting sober. He's got 3 years now. I'm super proud of him.
It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool how that worked out. But excuse me. So I was taking care of my grandma and doing a lot of stuff at the mission here in Shawnee, going there and cutting hair and stuff and just trying to be of service. And a friend of mine was working out at Country Road, and he was like, we were going to a district meeting or something, and he's like, hey, April, you have an interview where I work Wednesday at 11. I was like, what? And I ended up going and got the job, and I've been there ever since, and I love it.
And you're a licensed cosmetologist, though?
I am, yes.
Okay. When did you get that license?
2010.
Was it during your 4 years of?
Yes, yes,
okay.
yes.
Did you get it, so how long did it take you to get certified? Is it like a 2-month thing you got done in 6 months, or?
No, it was, so I was going nights, and so it actually took me a long, like 18 months. I think it's normally 9 months. It took me twice as long. Yeah.
Okay.
But I was sober.
So I gotta ask, how did you wind up getting into the recovery and where you're at now? So, like I said, I know you in a professional capacity a little bit, but what made you like? Did you start off as a TA out there, or like?
Yeah, I started out as a TA, and ended up kind of becoming the supervisor just by chance. The supervisor that we had ended up having a baby, and so I just kind of stepped in to fill in the blanks, and ended up going full time as a supervisor. Yeah.
I want those comment
Not
up there.
just a supervisor, an awesome supervisor.
Oh, I love you, Chris. Thank you. Yes, I'm Chris's boss, but he's an awesome employee. I love him. Thank you, Chris, for all that you do. For all of the guys that work out there, we have such a great department. Like, I'm so proud of our department.
Oh, McKaylee said she's going to watch Lion King. Bye, McKaylee. We're praying for you, girl. Thanks for tuning in.
So, what are your plans for the future? What are you going to be doing moving forward? I mean, are you like how did you wind up getting the job as a TA? I mean, how did you find that place specifically? I guess.
My friend that worked there. So, okay, I had been working, trying to figure out how to get my PRSS certification because I definitely knew I wanted to be a peer. So my IOP program, I had like the most amazing peer recovery specialist. Shout out Thomas Fleming. Love him so much. But he really inspired me. He got me through so many things. The loss of my daughter, coping with PTSD, sober, just so many things. And I just knew that I wanted to be a peer. And at this time, I was still taking care of my grandmother. My grandmother has dementia, so she needs full-time care. I wasn't planning to look for another job until I did have that certification. And so that was a few months out. But like I said, he was in my back seat and he just wanted me to go work for him. He'd already set up an interview time and everything without my knowing. And so I just went and showed up and got the job.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll say that's a God thing. I don't know what else, I don't know what else to call that.
Yeah, definitely a God thing. Definitely a God thing.
What's your relationship like with your child? Did you get
So my son is 16 and he's probably the coolest person I've ever met in my life. Like we have the most amazing relationship. I mean, he's 16, so I have to like fight for his time, you know? So I bribe him with food. We have a set date, a dinner date every Wednesday. We get together and just spend time together. I actually took him to get his first tattoo for his 16th birthday. So we're bonding over food and tattoos.
nice?
Yeah. Yeah. He's actually such an exceptional guy. Like he's so smart and he just blows my mind. You know, it's amazing that he came from me. Just it's special.
Oh, yeah. So, what other question you got for Chris? I feel like you was getting ready to ask something.
I forget. My brain capacity is pretty messed up.
At least you're not
I forgot
looking
what I was
blurry now. That's cool.
Oh,
Chris,
So-
man, are you even in the same meeting we're in, bro?
yeah, I am. I'm listening. That's the thing. I'm like listening.
Man,
I'm
you
sorry.
over there, you playing Fortnite or something, ain't you? On your other
No, I don't play
computer?
Fortnite. Bro.
Pokemon, bro. He's playing Pokemon. He sent me a screenshot the other day. You ain't
I
gonna
was
lie,
playing
man.
Pokemon the other day. Only
Yeah,
games I play are Pokemon and Madden. That's it. And NBA 2K.
Okay. Well, so yeah. So, what are your plans for the future? I mean, what you said you work at the Shawnee Mission, is that right? You still do that?
Unfortunately, no. I have been wanting to get out there, especially now that it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
I do still try to contribute just in other ways.
Yeah.
So I still try to take care of my grandma. I mean, I'm obviously not her caretaker, but try to spend as much time with her as I can and with my son. The future looks bright. Like me and my husband, we've been looking at properties. We want to get some acres, you know, and we just recently found one that we really love. It's actually right by the facility out there. So it's super convenient. Hopefully building a house, things I never dreamed of, you know, it's pretty awesome. But
So, how long have you and your husband been married?
we just celebrated 2 years in September.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is it hard?
No, it's actually so easy. It's like the
Yeah.
easiest thing in my life.
You ain't hit the hard part yet. You still in the what's that called?
Honeymoon stage?
I read. Okay, yeah, you call it the honeymoon stage or the something else. I've been reading the 5 love languages.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good book.
Hey, bro, why you laughing, dog? Have you read it?
Yeah.
Everybody should read
I've been
it.
married,
You
bro.
should
You
go
got to
to Love
forget that. I've
Language.
been married and divorced. So,
So you didn't read it all then?
No, you know
Yeah.
what? I married my best friend.
I was
Like we just get along. We don't fight. I mean, don't sweat the small stuff is probably my greatest advice to anybody. Choose your battles and you know, just it's the service to others thing. You know, when you put someone else before your someone else's happiness before your own happiness and you both are doing that, it's gonna work. It's just gonna work.
How long have you been married now, Mimo?
Over 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It started. You know what? No comment, man. My marriage is good.
I was just asking for a time frame comparison.
I'm in that challenging stage.
Okay.
Well, you got to realize I got married when I was 22, so that's been almost 20 years ago. So, and yeah,
And what I've come to realize is most of the time it's my fault. And I'm not saying that like it's for real. Like I never realized how selfish I was until I got married. Like man.
I think that's
Takes
a
a
big
lot
thing.
to admit that.
That's what I was about to say is the fact that you can acknowledge that. Dude, it's taken me being in recovery to finally like look at myself and realize how selfish I am about some things.
Yeah.
That's why I'm in no shape to date anybody.
So do you sponsor other women, April?
I have. I'm not sponsoring anybody right now. Sponsorship is hard, you know.
yeah, like I'm sponsoring one person, and like I just can't take on anymore. And I tell them because I feel like I'm gonna rob them of the time they deserve. Like
Yeah.
at this stage in my life, maybe like when I'm a little older and a little, like where I can make, you know,
Yeah.
all about like my sponsor is awesome. He he's all about, you know what I'm saying? So he has all that time to be able to do it.
Right.
What is that noise? Is that Chris?
Probably.
No. Am I doing something?
No.
It sound like your air conditioner's blowing right in the
No, that's
mic.
my heater. I got a heater on. Oh shit! What the fuck?
All right. So my next question for you, April, is to the women that are watching, maybe we got some women right now that are watching that aren't commenting because they're still stuck in that life. That and they every day they wake up, because I get a lot of messages like this. They want to quit so bad, and they swear it's their last time, and then they wake up and they find themselves doing it again, and they don't know what happened, and they don't know how to get out of that repetitive cycle that seems like, it's just a vicious cycle. And what would you say to, a woman that not necessarily your age that you got sober, but
Yeah.
women period. What would you advise them to do? What step to take?
Well, first I would tell them to accept love from other people, because I feel like that was like my biggest struggle, and I think a lot of women struggle with like feeling worthy of love and help from other people. Like from my experience, I just felt like I had to be so independent. I had to do everything on my own, and you don't. There is a community of people out there that love you. They don't even know you, but I promise you they love you and they want to help you. Just take that first step. You can do it, and you don't have to do it alone. It's not something you're going to do alone. Like, it might feel like it. You're the only one, and you got to like break free from this environment, but you can do it. And you know what? People follow. It's like sobriety's really in right now. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but it's like the cool thing to be doing. And I love that because I have so many people from my past, they're showing up with 1 year sober, 2 years sober, and it's so exciting, but reach out, go to a clubhouse, go to a meeting, meet people, find somebody that has what you want and cling to that person, also call Country Roads, because we have a great program out there. It's amazing. I love getting to see the light come on in people's eyes, and we have like a great success rate. There's so many people that are killing it, and there is a way. There is a way, and you don't have to do it alone. But love yourself and let others love you. Let them love you.
Hey, I'm going to put a question up here that I think somebody else in the comments answered, and I'm real reluctant to give advice on any of this, but she asked, "It's one of you guys give any advice on what's appropriate to say to friends in recovery who date people in their active addiction?" I mean, and somebody else commented, "Playing with fire. The obsession being lifted from us doesn't translate over to them. Cutting baffling powerful, exactly what it means." I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Don't do it. A ticking time bomb. I mean, it's not wise, and you can't change
Good. That's a good answer, William. Unequally yoked,
Yeah.
You it ain't gonna work. I mean, it's just one of those things, you put good fruit in a basket. What is it? Or no, bad fruit.
One bad apple can spoil the whole bunch.
It's gonna,
If you hang out around a barbershop, you're bound to get a haircut.
I hate that one, bro. I hate that one.
I figured you'd like that one the most.
Oh,
So it's so cheesy. That one's so cheesy.
Yeah.
But it's
Someone
probably never heard that one.
So we have time to answer the question, all of us. Go ahead and put the question up there, Chris, and let's get April's answer. I gave you this question Friday. So, have you come up with an answer for us?
I have, absolutely. It was a really easy answer, and that's peace. I've gotten so much peace in my life and in every situation since I've been sober. Something I didn't have before at all.
Hell yeah. We want to go around the horn, answer that.
Yeah, you want to go clockwise?
I think it's different on all our screens.
That would be you, Chris. Wait, no, that would be me.
Yeah.
Since I've been sober, what is the greatest thing you've received? It's not just one great thing, man. Like kind of like what April was talking about earlier, man. I got a relationship. You know, you talked about your son. You know, I get to be a part of my daughter's life and get to be, like we're going Tuesday to get our matching tattoos. We get to have these real conversations that I wasn't present for in the past. I got to take her to her first day of school. I think being just present in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I've had a lot of people ask who aren't in recovery or who are kind of, you know, straddling the fence. How do you not get worried about the future? And that's the thing, man. As cheesy as this sounds, if you got 1 foot in yesterday, 1 foot in tomorrow, you're pissed all over today. And, you know, that's all I've got. I think just living in the moment is the greatest gift, greatest thing that I've received since being sober. You know,
I love that.
Do you find yourself able to do that most of the time? Live in the moment?
So I'd say after about 2 years sober, I struggled with it for about 6 months, really bad. I really struggled with, I feel like I should be having this done. I feel like I should be this far along. Like there's a graph of where you're supposed to be after so much time.
Right.
And the bottom line is man, when I just step out of the way and let God kind of do his thing, things work out 100 times better than I could have ever imagined.
He's going to do something in your life that wasn't in your plan.
No, wasn't even in my wheelhouse, or, you know, nothing that I would have even conceptualized if I'd have worked on it for weeks and weeks at a time of saying what I thought would be great for my life, you know. So
since you've been sober, what is the greatest thing that you received? My answer for that would be purpose.
Ooh, good one.
Purpose. I felt so hopeless in my addiction, and really, like, I didn't care if I died. And I mean, it was just, what is the meaning of all this? You know, we're just here to exist, and then we die, and then it's over. So what's the point? You know, but I feel like now I have purpose. You know, and that goes as far as helping other addicts, the family that I've built since, you know, getting out of prison 4 years ago, to just the all around self-worth that I had since deciding to get sober, you know, 7 years ago. And now I know that I'm here for a reason. And I think it's to let other people know that they don't have to stay in that hopeless state of mind. They don't have, they can do exactly what, you know, God's done for me. So purpose, definitely.
Love that.
My answer would be peace. Like I've like, it's weird. Like I do thrive in chaotic environments. That's just me. But also like knowing that I can think and I can move and, you know, have that, like, I have like a different outlook on the way of life than I used to. Like I didn't used to go home and go to sleep. That was never me. It's like I used to have to get off work, go to the bar, leave the bar, go hang out at somebody's house, and then wake up in the morning and do the exact same thing all over again. And now that I literally come home and I don't want to leave the house, and you know, I look around and I see like kids and stuff running around. Normally, when I first came home from prison, that was like a fucking like sit the fuck down and fucking chill the fuck out. That was like the biggest. I'm still like that, but not as bad as I used to be. But having that peace, like, you know, like knowing that my sister can leave her kids with me and she's not going to be worried about me taking off and going to go do something stupid.
So and I got your question earlier, April, but I before we get into that, I want to ask you guys, this is something that I've heard discussed a lot lately. Did you guys pick your sobriety date, or did it pick you?
Ooh.
It picked me for sure.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it was just a moment that, like, yeah, the window got cracked just enough, and God sucked me through it. So
Yeah.
Well, it definitely picked me because I keistered 3 pills and went to jail,
fuck yeah. There's
and
one drug.
they lasted me 3 days, and then I woke up, and my sober date was November 18th, which and I couldn't bond out of jail, so I was on my way to prison for a 3rd time, but. Yeah, it definitely picked me. But what was cool about that is that's my little brother's actual birthday.
Oh,
And
wow.
he's lost in his addiction right now. And, I'm still praying that my example, he'll get something from it, man. I'm praying. He's really playing with fire right now, though. But yeah.
Yeah, I hate that. Well, so, and let me just make sure I got this from you earlier, April. It's, what do you want to be remembered for? Is that right?
Yeah.
That is a good question. I like that. Man, that's going to be a good question for the next
Yeah,
year.
that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to be remembered for?
Yeah. Getting into some deep shit, man. That's good.
Hey, y'all, plan on this week. We're going to do that, okay? We're going to do a skit. We might not get to do the cracker skit, but it'll be. Bro, I'm so ready to do another.
Yeah. I want to, like, I don't know. I was thinking of coming up with a really stupid one to, like, dedicate to my daughter for her 18th birthday. I just don't know. Because I was thinking about throwing that by you, but I'm like, I was thinking of Warren, 18 and life to go. Like, I don't know if that's appropriate or not. Like, and she would just fucking roll the shit out of her eyes at me, but it would be hilarious. So, I don't know. But, man, this has been really good, April. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This was fun. This was really fun.
Good. And, yeah, we talked to basically everybody. We'd like, I mean, after in February be a year, but we'd like to get to 52 episodes, right, guys? And then start kind of going back through people. I mean, of course, we'll have other new guests, but we'd like to just kind of touch base with you and see where you're at. And
yeah, I'd love that. I would love that.
What's going to be cool is if we don't have any. Evelyn said Christmas skit. That's a good idea, guys. We could do it.
Man, I just did my Christmas shopping. That's
Christmas skit. But yeah, what would be cool is going back through everyone and finding out no one has relapsed.
that's not true on one case, I know. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, but
I'm curious. You got to tell me who. Not you. You don't got to tell me who now.
Yeah, I'll tell you here in a minute. She or he is the reason we implemented the 1-year rule.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. But no, this has been really great. 33 Rolling Rock. I know that means nothing to you guys, but man, this has been a great episode. Thank you so much, April.
I do want to shout out Josh Russell for the Comeback Kids. Like he's doing his thing out there. Please get out there and donate. Like please donate. He's making Christmas happen for those who can't have it.
Love that.
I've been in that position before.
And really like we do every Sunday, let's shout everyone out that has commented. Guys, thank you for viewing tonight. So shout out to Larry Clark, Delisa Jones, Amanda Brown, Drayvon Taylor, Curtis McLean, David Thomas, Banjo Cliff, Damian Dean, Toby Delaire, Jacob Menard. Jacob Menard is from Ontario, Canada. Shout out
Canada.
Yeah, shout out Canada. Pierce Rosengren, Susie Fetterman, Megan. Help me out with that last name, bro. I don't know why I can't ever say her last name.
Say Megan Thomas. It's fine.
Megan Thomas. McKaylee Thompson. So glad she showed up. Heather Russell. Caden Beery. Ty Smith. William Mullins in the house. Caden Beery. Oh, I already said that. My bad. Did I say Ty Smith?
Yeah.
Evelyn Settles. Now, Evelyn Settles, shout out, big shout out. She watches this every Sunday, and she even messaged me because she's Eastern time. She thought it was 7 o'clock Eastern. And she's like, I can't find it nowhere. So shout out Evelyn. Alton Schrader.
Did you get Nancy?
AJ, hey AJ.
Okay, AJ. Nancy Kotler.
Cutler.
I'm sorry if I
You're
chopped up.
probably
my name.
butchering that. Sorry.
I did. And Stephen Ramsey, Niner gang, bang, bang, baby. Did we win tonight? I ain't even check. I'm scared to check, y'all. All right, that's it.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to episode 33. Next week, episode 34 is a very special guest. We will be posting about this week.
We're up 21-0.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go sports ball. So, man, also kind of back to what I was saying on the last episode, man, if anybody's struggling with mental health, anything, feel free to reach out to one of us. Call the mental health crisis line. Don't suffer alone, man. There's so many people that care about you, and, man, just do not suffer alone. I think all of us have been affected by suicide, and like I said, suicide and addiction go hand in hand. So, like, that's just one of my big things, man. Just do not suffer alone. Reach out to one of us. I guess Chris is gone, so we'll holler at him later. But anyways, this has been episode 33. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're out.
Hey, this Sling Dave, call this number back. I need $25 for this walk around sit down chair.
Productions.
Okay.
Clear enough for you. That's right. Yeah. Why creators look mad? Y'all supposed to be happy I'm free. Y'all look like y'all wanted me to stay in Facebook jail.
Love it, bro. Love it.
Ghostbusters. Picture me trolling on your 500 friends. I got no love for myself, that's why I'm in your DMs. I'm kinda tough with my fingers, but I ain't touching no wieners. Yeah, they call me a troll, but I'm also a dope fiend. I'm really scared of big numbers, that's why I'm going through your comments, trolling undercover. Teddy Riley wanna see me dead.
All right, thanks, guys.
Love it.